That's fine. Right there's fine.
Shit, you're behind me.
Frank Bassoni back at the Assembly Hall with a good friend, Coach Duncan Reed of Rock Island. And I've watched Duncan Reed's teams play for a lot of years. And one thing I know about the teams, they always play hard. How do you do that?
Fear.
Genuinely speaking, your teams are really always aggressive and come to play every night. What's the philosophy of the Duncan Reed team?
Well, I think that you got to have, first of all, you got to have a program that allows you to have players on the bench that if the guys don't play hard, somebody's right there to take their place. So that is a built-in fear. And I think that the idea, our kids like to win. They know if they don't play hard, then they're going to lose. And so we win some games by playing hard.
What do you do offensively and defensively for the viewers who haven't seen Rocky play this year?
Well, we do a lot of man pressing, a lot of man defense. We do some zone. We like the full court, up-tempo the game. We like to push the ball up the floor. We think we got pretty good athletes. But the one thing that we will have, the starters really don't mean anything because we've started 23 different lineups in 30 games. So you're going to see 4 or 5 kids even the first quarter off the bench.
And you can even win and come down here without a son on the team. What are the keys to the game for Rock Island?
I would say to stop the guard play of Bloom and stop the inside player from having a great game. Handle their overplay pressure, which they do very well, and not let that guard penetrate and create some things inside for some of their players who are role players.
If your team's going to be successful, what would you like the score in the points to be?
Rock Island 1, Bloom Trail 0. Be fine with me.
I know it would. Congratulations on another outstanding year.
Thanks, Frank.
That's our friend Duncan Reed. And now stepping in is the gentleman bringing Bloom Trail, Gary Meyer, a first appearance. How does it feel at your school?
Well, it feels great. It's a new enthusiasm for the school, and the kids are really looking forward to it. We told them to come down and just have some fun.
Tell us about your Bloom Trail team and how it's changed from the beginning of the year to now.
Well, we went through some problems earlier on. We had to make some changes. We brought a sophomore kid up that's really helped us. And we were kind of a late peaker. We really didn't play that well during the regular season. But about the middle of February on, we kind of put it together. And presently, we've been playing our best basketball the last 2 weeks.
Talk about your team a little bit and give us some names who to look for and where they'll be playing, what kind of style you play.
Well, we're a team of midgets. We're not real big. We only have 2 kids that go taller than 6 foot, and I think that's what makes it so great is that, you know, we're down here to prove that you don't have to have the big kids to necessarily be successful. But kids that are certainly key for us would be our center, 6'4", Abdul Muhammad, a senior, Kevin Green, 6'1", senior, the sophomore kid who's a real good athlete for us, number 42, Steve Henley. And we have 2 lightning quick guards in the backcourt, 5'9", Mike Richardson, and 5'10 and a half, John Davis. We look to run a transition game, obviously. We have to try to compensate for our lack of size, and we'll be looking to try to push the ball up the floor a little bit.
All right, what particular problems does Rock Island's team present for you?
Size. You know, they can play any style. They can push the ball up the floor, but obviously we're going to have some real problems with both 6'8" kids on the floor, and particularly if Muhammad gets in foul trouble. So I think for us to be successful, we have to be able to keep Muhammad in the game as much as possible and keep Rock Island off the boards.
Well, congratulations on a great season to date, and good luck in the tournament.
Thank you very much.
Gary Meyer of Bloom Trail, and now let's go to Art Kimball.
Thank you very much, Frank. And Mike Kazmar is the skipper of the St. Francis de Sales Pioneers, the winners in that real thriller over Simeon just a few moments ago. Mike, congratulations. You have to be worn out.
Thank you. I am. Our players are, too. It was a battle.
Tremendous ball game all the way, and, of course, Eric Anderson suffered the ankle injury. Fortunately, he was able to come back for you.
I think our other kids played very hard, and they got a lot of pride on that comeback, and our goal was to stay within 10 at halftime, and we did that, so.
How many times have you had to come off the deck this year? You didn't have a lead until the dying stages.
We've had to come back before, and we've had close games. Our league is very, very strong, and we've had close games all the way through the tournament. So I think that's helped us knowing how to fight back in a close game.
There was a spectacular play by, who was it, McCabe, an interception right at the end of the overtime that preserved it for you?
Sean McNabb, a nice defensive
I'll get his name right yet, McNabb, right?
Sean McNabb, yeah, you're going to hear a lot from him. He's just a sophomore.
The contest was one that I thought was a great example of a team showing patience. Bob Hamburg started to spread it on you a little bit in the fourth quarter. I think he was up 5 or 7 at the time. Your kids just dug in and played tough defense.
Yeah, we've been a good defensive club all year. We didn't look that strong in the first half, but at the end of the game, at the end down the wire, we played hard and played well.
Three-point shooting is not really a big factor among schools like Simeon and DeSales, is it?
If it was, I think I'd get fired. A guy like Eric in there, we don't want him shooting threes. We want to ram it down.
I thought Simeon did a pretty good job on Anderson, all things concerned, but he's been collapsed on all year, I would assume.
He sure has, and our other kids do a nice job then filling in from the weak side. I haven't had a chance to look at the stats, but Eric did a nice job when we did get him the ball.
What do you do now? What's the routine between now and, of course, that first semifinal tomorrow morning?
Well, we want to get the kids off their feet. We want to get them rested and fed. I need to go have my usual pregame meal and just get a lot of rest and get ready for tomorrow.
And just enjoy this one. There's not much time to celebrate, though.
No, there's not. There's plenty of time at the end of the tournament to celebrate. I just want to say that, I'll tell you what, I think Simeon and we both showed the city of Chicago proud, because that was one heck of a battle.
One of the great games, I think, in tournament history. Mike, thank you so much. Best wishes to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mike Asmar, the coach at St. Francis de Sales, an arrow three-point winner over Chicago Simeon. Now to the bench and Jim Albrecht.
Thank you very much, Art. Game one is now history in the quarterfinal round. As you see, DeSales, the winner in OT over Simeon. Game two coming up, and I guess we could call this one, Bill, the overachievers against the Cinderellas. First of all, the final stats from game one. Good shooting on both sides, 52, 56%. DeSales almost caught themselves at the free throw line, only 33%, but they got the win. The rebounds, not much difference.
Well, I think the big thing that there is that I think DeSales, weren't they 38% in the first half, was it? I know one time it was flashed on the screen they were hitting 38% from the field, and they ended up 52. So you know they ended up the game real well. And, of course, that's when it counts, is when the game's on the line, how well you're going to shoot. And I think having Anderson back in the game sure helped.
26 points worth, as you see there. He led the way. Akins, of course, hit the shot that sent the game into OT. Chalski had 10. Everybody contributed for this DeSales team, and that's something that's overlooked.
I know what Simmons has got 6 points there, but to me, I think he's their MVP.
Deion Thomas so smooth inside, hit 18. When he posts up low, it's almost automatic. Butler with 14, Bailey with 12. There you see another man, Redmond, in double figures. So Simeon had the balance. They just couldn't get it done in OT. And those two one-and-ones in the final minute, they could have wrapped it up, didn't get it done.
Well, so often it goes down to free throws, and it comes down to free throws in that last minute, and you've got to hit those things if you want to be successful. And they didn't, and St. Francis de Sales took advantage of it.
Back to the battle of the overachievers. That would be Rock Island. That is Duncan Reed's word for his team, and the Cinderella Bloom Trail Blazers. They certainly are small. They do call them Meyer's midgets after Coach Meyer, but small isn't necessarily bad if you can move the basketball.
Well, quick as they are, it's certainly not bad. I think a disadvantage for Rock Island, I'm not sure if anybody really gives Bloom Trail a chance of winning this game, other than, of course, the Bloom Trail people. But it's got to be won or lost out on the court. And the reason I say it's a disadvantage for Rock Island is that they're supposed to win. And sometimes the hardest thing in the world is to win when you're supposed to.
We'll have to see which Rock Island team shows up. Sometimes they shoot lights out. Other time the lights go out on them. And now for the introduction of today's starting lineups, here's the PA announcer, Steve Adams.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the coaches and players for this second quarterfinal round game featuring the Rock Island Rocks and the Blazers of Bloom Trail High School. First, for Rock Island High School, entering this game with a record of 26 wins and 4 losses, introducing the head coach in his 8th season, Duncan Reed. Assistant coaches, Jim Condon and Mike Brown. And now the players. Number 14, a 5'7" sophomore, Chris Allison. Number 22, a 6-foot junior, Rick Kelly. Number 32, a 6'3" sophomore, Shane McGaughy. Number 34, a 5'8" sophomore, Donnie White. Number 43, a 6'2" freshman, Anthony Pulliam. Number 45, a 6'8" junior, Brian Jones. And number 52, a 6'8" junior, Lamont Wortham. And now this starting lineup. At one forward, a 5'10" senior, 44, John Barnes. At the other forward, a 6'3" senior, number 30, Fontaine Walker. At center, a 6'4" senior, 33, Maurice Woods. At one guard, a 6' senior, 24, Ray Jackson. And at the other guard, a 6'1" senior, 23, Donald Mentria. Those are the Rocks of Rock Island High School. And now let's meet the Blazers of Bloom Trail High School from Chicago Heights, entering this game with a record of 21 wins and 9 losses. The head coach of the Blazers in his 6th season, Gary Meyer. Assistant coaches, Robert Frick and Julius Baldridge. And now the players. Number 10, a 5'7" senior, Keith Shannon. Number 20, a 5'8" junior, James McKinney. Number 21, a 5'9" junior, Andre Agnew. Number 22, a 5'11" senior, Brian Lavelle. And number 40, a 6' junior, Troy Dillard. And now the starting lineup for Bloom Trail. At one forward, a 6'1" senior, number 30, Kevin Green. At the other forward, a 6' sophomore, 42, Steve Henley. At center, a 6'4" senior, 41, Abdul Muhammad. At one guard, a 5'10" junior, number 11, Mike Richardson. And at the other guard, a 5'11" junior, number 12, John Davis. And now the officials for this second quarterfinal round game, Don Cobb of Wood River and Phil Cody of Glen Carbon.
So who will face St. Francis de Sales in the semifinal tomorrow? We're about to find out, but first, one of your network sponsors is Country Company. The 26-4 Rock Island Rocks have reeled off 10 wins in a row coming into this quarterfinal action. They, of course, from Rock Island County, Bloom Trail from Cook County. Both enrollments about the same school-wise. 2,092 for Bloom Trail, 2018 for the Rocks. There's your starting lineups. And Bill Geist, let's see who prevails.
This is an interesting matchup, too. In the first game, we had two very big power teams. Here we've got two small, quick teams. Similar styles. They both like to shoot the three-pointer. They'll both press. I think it's going to be very, very interesting.
Muhammad jumps center and clears it out easily to John Davis. Davis wears number 12, his running mate, Mike Richardson. Richardson with a basketball, wants an 18-footer, doesn't get it. Rebound comes down to John Barnes in the Rocks. Barnes, the leading scorer for Rock Island. He had 21 Tuesday night in the super sectional win over Rockford Boylan. Man-to-man defense in effect for Bloom Trail. Jackson wants a 10-footer. That's way too hard. Rebound comes down to Richardson, who almost lost the handle. Well, we'll have to see who gets over the Assembly Hall anxiety attack first.
Well, there's one of the mistakes that you're going to make. Yeah, it's going to take a couple minutes, and I think the style is a little bit different. We had who was Bloom Trail came down and took a 20-footer right away, and then Rock Island tried to set up a play. Just didn't work, and wait till they settle down. It's going to be good.
Jackson again. Cutting across is Barnes, and he gets the ball knocked away, out of bounds. It'll belong to Rock Island. If you're looking for the kingpin, the man who gets it going for the red-clad Rocks, look at number 23, Donald Mentria. He is the penetrator. Barnes, that's his area. Too hard. Rebound comes down to Muhammad. Muhammad quickly up to Richardson, and Richardson in trouble, throws it away, but the Rocks can't control. Jackson, good effort. Muhammad got up in the air, turned around, and said, uh-oh, nobody's there.
I'm not supposed to handle a ball like this. It's going to be a run-and-shoot type of game.
We've played just over a minute. Nobody has found the mark yet.
You know, what's interesting, too, is that earlier we had the slow down teams and the set it up, and now we've got two running teams.
Richardson throws it away. Jackson up, and he'll be fouled.
I think the point, though, I'm trying to make, Jim, is that there's no one way to be successful in basketball. And it's up to the coach to figure out what talent he has, how can they be successful, whether they should press, run, slow it down, whatever.
Richardson again, that's the second time down the floor now that Bloom Trail has made a pass when they were up in the air. That one was a bad pass and went right to Ray Jackson. He was fouled on the way up, so it'll be the 6-foot senior with a chance to make the first points for Rock Island in the quarterfinal round.
A lot of times that's nervousness, you know, leaving your feet and then wondering what you're going to do with the ball. Some teams like to play that way, and they once they leave their feet, it's up to their teammates to cut to an open spot so they can dump the ball to them.
Mike Richardson being tended to in the locker room. You just saw him leave the game. I don't know what the ailment is. We'll try to check it out. Jackson hits both from the charity stripe, and the Rocks are out front. Keith Shannon, number 10, with a basketball, replacing Mike Richardson. And believe me, if something's wrong with Richardson, Bloom Trail's in trouble because Richardson averages 17 points a game. Davis has got 2.
He didn't look nervous, did he? Calmly took the ball and put it through.
Donald Mentria out front has a little bit of problem. And he throws it away. He has a bigger problem. Davis up ahead to Henley. Will he get it? Blocked by Woods. Make that Mentria. Woods at the other end, and we're going to have whistles and traveling. Well, what a block. I believe that was Donald Mentria.
He came out of nowhere.
Yeah, Mentria with the left-handed swat. Down at the other end was Woods, who looked like he might get the cripple, but good defense by Bloom Trail, forcing Woods to walk. Turnovers are like the score, 2-2.
On this running style of play, you're going to see a few more turnovers than we saw in that first game, I think.
Davis makes a bad pass, and Mentria with those quick hands gets it batted right back to him. Is this a volleyball tournament? Down low underneath. Not good by Fontaine Walker as Walker gets it slapped away.
Muhammad looks like he likes to dribble the ball a little bit, don't you think, Jim?
Now another whistle, and let's see what the call is here. John Davis fired one up from about 20 feet, but we just got an official's timeout as Ray Jackson took a shot to the face. He's telling Duncan Reed that he is okay. Although Duncan will say, let's check it out, and he'll go to his bench, I believe. Let's see what happened to Fontaine Walker on the way up.
That's a two-hand off the glass block.
And what that does, it sets the stage for a little inside intimidation down the stretch. You get one of your shots pinned up against the glass like that, and you might have it creep in your mind the next time you drive.
You know, you listen to these two coaches talk, and you feel sorry for them. They're so small and all that stuff. And then you see their players come out here, and they can jump over the rim anyway. What difference does it make whether you're 6'9" or 6 foot if you can jump like that?
Anthony Pulliam into the ball game now for Ray Jackson. Pulliam, the only freshman to ever start a game at Rock Island High School, and that's saying something. Davis almost threw it away as Maurice Woods had it. Now they do kick it out of bounds. Abdul Muhammad couldn't control it. It's those quick Rock hands, and that's setting the tone right now. 4 turnovers for Bloom Trail they've caused so far.
Well, both players are, you know, they're a little bit nervous. They're kind of looking at the ball.
Shannon with a steal out front. Count those two up. Mentria just simply got his pocket picked. And Mentria is not used to having that happen to him, believe me. Bloom Trail with the lead. Mentria driving, and we've got a charge on Mentria. Or else they say he stepped out of bounds. What'll be the call? Either way, it's Bloom Trail's ball. They say he stepped on the line.
They're so intent on driving to the hoop, he forgot where he was.
Davis all the way, 3-on-2, kicks it. He kicks it away to John Barnes. Barnes, 1 against 2. Will he slow it up? No, sir. Gets it rejected by Henley. The Rocks are going to have to slow it down and set it up a little bit. No, right down low, it goes to Walker. He blew an easy one. Walker did a little too much inside instead of just going to the glass. He kind of dipsy-dooed, and it cost him.
We're going to have to stay sharp on this game, Jim. They've got a lot of running up and down, a lot of great athletic moves so far. Just not a lot of good basketball yet.
Kevin Green with the basketball out front. This is Henley driving. Ball's loose on the floor again. Picked up by Walker. He's got a 3-on-1. Bounces it over to Woods. Back to Mentria, and he's fouled. I think the Rocks almost took too much time that time. Every time that Bloom Trail puts the ball in the paint, Coach, it seems to disappear into.
Well, they're dribbling in or passing into where about 5 Rock Island players are. I said before, they're kind of looking at their hands. I think the ball's a little slippery. It's a new ball, and they're a little nervous, and their hands are sweaty, and they're going to have to settle down a little bit.
Mentria, good free throw shooter, 73% on the year. He shows you why there. We've got 4:18 remaining in the first quarter. Mentria and the Rocks going for the tie here at 4. Both teams not making many visits to the nets early. Mentria gets 1 of 2. Fontaine Walker almost had the rebound, but Hurley, I should say Steve Henley, came down with it. Steve Shannon in the ball game. Mike Richardson left early. Now Richardson coming back out onto the court, so we'll have to see if he comes back in this one. Green doesn't want the 15-footer. Rocks in that man-to-man.
So here's some good patience on Bloom Trail's part.
Green, 17-footer, too hard. Rebound inside Henley, Steve Henley got the board, found the glass, Rocks down, all the way down Barnes. That's goaltending. Mike Richardson is back in the ball game now. He came back out of the locker room. John Barnes had that one in the bank.
Well, this wasn't that hard to call. And once it hits the backboard, you can't touch the ball, otherwise it's goaltending.
Steve Henley picked up the goaltending call there. Rocks trail by 1, 6-5. Full court pressure. Donald Mentria all over Davis. Ooh, almost forced the turnover. Davis somehow kept it alive behind his back. Double team, kick it out. Richardson back in the game, tries to feed it through the lane, and it cost him again. Barnes, 3-on-3, 20-footer, no. Maurice Woods, high in the air, back up, no good. Woods will go up again, it's gone.
There's some persistence on Rock Island's part. They took a shot. It was a good shot, missed it. And they stayed in there and got the rebounds and finally put it down and got the chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, Woods knew where to go back up with it, but on the second time, which is this one, you do enough head faking down there, the odds are you're going to at least get a clear shot. So the 3-point play by Maurice Woods ties up the game with 5 minutes gone here in the first quarter from the Assembly Hall. Ooh, dangerous pass. Davis. Davis on the drive, and it'll fall. I was just checking the scoreboard, Coach, and Rock Island, of course, with 8 now, but it's still tied up again as Davis somehow got that baby to fall. He's got a soft touch, doesn't he?
Well, a nice little penetration with a little double pump. It's like you watch on the big guys do it. It was a nice job, and he laid it up nice and soft, as you mentioned.
So back-to-back 3-pointers, one by Woods, one by Davis. It's 9-8 Bloom Trail. Barnes with the drive. Pretty move, but he gets it slapped away by Abdul Muhammad. Good shifting defense that time by Bloom Trail.
Well, I'll tell you, when somebody penetrates, Muhammad really likes to leave his man to block shots.
We got a timeout on the floor, 2:49 remaining in the first quarter. Bloom Trail leads it by 1. One of your network sponsors is the American Dairy Association of Illinois. Quarterfinal action from the Assembly Hall. Jim Albrecht, Bill Geist, and Frank Pisoni.
Jim, Phil Cody's one of our officials, and his father, Lawrence, is in a hospital in Springfield, so get well to Lawrence Cody. Hope he's feeling better.
Rocks with a basketball. Barnes way outside, buries it. That's 3. John Barnes with the tray. 11-9. Full court pressure applied again. Richardson and the Bloom Trail Blazers break it. Green, a long cross-court pass to Davis. Rocks up by 2. Try to get it in the middle, and they throw it away again. Then Tria picks it off, gets it up to Woods. The Rocks will have to wait and set it up, or will they? Well, Fontaine Walker decided to do just that. Good cross-court pass. Woods, count those 2 up. Woods was left alone on the other side, Coach.
Well, it's good observation by the, or good vision by the Rock player, because he saw him open over there and got him the ball. Doesn't do you any good if you are open but can't get the ball.
That time, Bloom Trail beat the press down the floor, got it to the man inside who does most of their scoring. 6'4" Abdul Muhammad. So we've got a whistle and a foul. They called that foul on Fontaine Walker. Here's that pass to Maurice Woods.
Yeah, Woods, man sagged over to help inside, and it left him open, and the pass found him wide open. He put it down. You know, Jim, it doesn't seem to me that Bloom Trail has gotten into this game yet at all. It just they seem very just unorganized and not playing together, and still making some kind of nervous errors yet. Whereas Rock Island, I think, is starting to find their game. I think it's important for Bloom to stay in this game, at least stay close, which they are. They're only 2 down.
Thanks to Mr. Muhammad burying 2 from the charity stripe as Donald Mentria brings it up for the Rocks. If you were with us on the pregame show, you heard Duncan Reed mention 23 different starting lineups in 30 games for the Rocks. That's what kind of bench they have. Mentria down low, Maurice Woods. That's his territory. That's why.
Well, he just got it down and took a dribble, and then he jumps as high as he can and puts it in, and it's a great move. He got that leaping ability. Whoa, he almost had a ball.
Good pressure by the Rocks again. And what this does, if you're watching a basketball game in the first half and you see a team pressing, and even though they don't create any steals off of it, it wears people out. By the time the second half rolls around, you're maybe a half step slower.
Well, that's Duncan Reed's game plan. That's why I like to play 10 guys. He wants to keep that pressure on, and in the latter part of the third quarter and fourth quarter, he wants it to tell.
Richardson missed the jumper, and he's hustling after it and gets it. Kevin Green, his teammate, gave him some help. Henley fakes, and it cost him because he walked. Checking into the ball game now, Troy Dillard for Bloom Trail. He wears number 40, along with Keith Shannon. Taking a breather will be John Davis, and also
Abdul
Muhammad. Well, Rocks could take their biggest lead of the afternoon here. They're up by 4. Mentria. Here's Barnes, 3-point effort. In and out. And we've got a foul on Lamont Wortham, who just checked into the ball game. Lamont Wortham, who had a sterling night in the Rockford-Borland Super Sectional. He had been in somewhat of a slump, but Lamont came out, hit double figures, rebounded well, and helped the Rocks make the Elite Eight.
That last play was a good example of a very fundamental play by Troy Dillard. He had a great screen out, and the Rock player tried to get around it, and he pushed him a little bit.
Shannon dribbling out front. Mentria took it away. Now we've got out of bounds. They say Mentria touched it last. Boy, Mentria has some quick hands.
There are a lot of quick hands out there. There are a lot of quick feet.
Inbounding, Richardson makes a bad pass. Somehow they come away with it as Kevin Green saves it underneath the hoop. Let's see if they hold for one. We got 35 seconds remaining. No, they'll take a shot, and Kevin Green will bury it. Well, if they're going to give you a 13-footer, you might as well take it. Rocks by 2 with time running out here in the first quarter. Anthony Polium wants an 18-footer, gets what he wants. That's a freshman, folks. They better hurry. They just get it in bounds. And coming up with it is Troy Dillard. Boy, talk about pressure. Throw it away again. Somehow Green comes up with it again. 5 seconds. 4. Richardson. Yeah, that's the way the first quarter will come to an end. Mike Richardson hits the helter-skelter number at the other end. And after 8 minutes from the Assembly Hall, Rock Island has the edge, but it's only by a bucket. One of your network sponsors this afternoon is John Deere. After Rock Island's Anthony Polium buried a jumper in the last 30 seconds of that first quarter, Mike Richardson matched it at the other end, and that's why only 2 points separate these two teams. The Rocks up 17-15. This is not one of those games to fall asleep at.
No, if you blink, you're going to miss something, I'll tell you that.
Mentria with the basketball out front being dogged by Richardson. Rocks in that high post offense. Mentria drives, hangs in the air, gets it to Wortham. and it works. Nice pass.
It's going to be interesting now. Rock Island has one of their 6'8" players in there, and it's going to, I don't know how Bloom Trail's going to be able to counteract that.
That's a very quick jump ball call. Mantria got his hand on the basketball for about a split second. The official said jump ball. Arrow pointing Bloom Trail's way. The Rocks have two 6'8"ers that come off the bench, so they may start a lineup that looks fairly small, but Duncan Reed can switch phases there. 19-15, Rock Island. Richardson looks for Green. Richardson wanted the three-pointer and thought better of it, as did Davis.
Abdul Muhammad's been very quiet on offense so far.
Davis outside, not there. Mantria with a rebound. Woods is free at the other end. Can he break it? No, he missed the layup. Rebound, Pulliam.
Mistake by Bloom Trail there. He had two players back. They both went for the steal and wound up out of bounds watching it, and he misses the shot, and the Rock Island player was there to put it back up.
Nobody could put on the brakes for the Blazers, and now they trail by 6. Inside, Muhammad can't get it to fall. Rebound, Henley. That's good.
I was talking to Coach Meyer before the game, and he really feels that Kevin Green and Steve Henley are the keys to his team.
Oh, John Barnes couldn't handle the long pass. A good athletic move, but good defense as well by Kevin Green. And here we look at the first quarter numbers, Coach.
Well, 6 out of 15 isn't very good, but the other team got 6 out of 10, which is a better percentage, but they still have 6 field goals. So they were just getting more shots. Looks like the turnovers is a big difference.
That's the reason they only got 10 shots, Bloom Trail, because Rock Island forced 9 turnovers. The Rocks 5 turnovers in that department.
I got a feeling Bloom Trail's going to be looking at this full court pressure the whole game.
You may be feeling right. Henley breaks the pressure, feeds it down low, and Green gets it to fall.
Now, those are those two key players I was just mentioning. Henley making a nice pass to Green for the basket.
Duncan Reed unhappy about something. He pointed to the official scorer here. I don't know if he was looking for a referee or what, but he was not happy with the way Bloom Trail split the defense.
Good vision on the pass by Henley. Nice little head fake, and he goes up, draws the foul.
Kevin Green, only a junior, stands at 6'1", averaging 10 points per contest. And he makes it a three-point play. Green with 5 now on the afternoon. And the Rocks have a 1-point lead. Chris Allison, number 14, with a basketball in the lineup. Makes a scary pass. Barnes fadeaway, not a good shot. Rebound is fought for. Pulliam tips it over to Woods. Woods off the glass, not there. Rebound won this time by Muhammad. And Muhammad threw it away. I don't know where he was throwing that one, but there were 2 Rocks back there. Boy, Rock Island wants to up-tempo it, don't they? Wortham has trouble and can't get it to fall. Allison keeps it alive. Who wants this basketball? Maurice Woods does, and a jump ball. Boy. This looks like mud wrestling without the mud. At least on that particular play. Players diving all over the floor. Pulliam will trigger it in underneath Rock Island's basket. Barnes from 19, yeah.
That was a 2-pointer. He does like to shoot from out there.
He grabbed the pass from 19 and just stepped in another 1.5 feet or so. That's his shot. He had trouble getting consistent on his shot earlier in the year. Outside Muhammad, that's short. Rebound, Pulliam. He'll outlet it quickly to Barnes. 2-on-2. Nice pass across court, but good defense by Muhammad. Lamont Wortham in the ballgame for Rock Island had an older brother, Blake Wortham, who played for the Rock Island Rocks. And Wortham, both of them instrumental in the reason that Duncan Reed has taken the Rocks to 5 Sweet 16s since arriving on the scene of Rock Island in 1980. Inside Wortham, nice spin, in and out, no good. But that's the way you're supposed to shoot her, right, Coach?
I'll tell you, it looked good. He had a nice move, and he followed through well. It just didn't go down for him.
Green, cross-court pass, not a good idea. Green was trying to spot Steve Henley, and he may have been hoping that Henley would come in from the wing on the run and jump and shoot at the same time, but that pass too high.
Well, he was open, and it was a pretty good idea. It just didn't connect.
Chris Allison, only a sophomore with a basketball for Rock Island. The turnovers, Bloom trails in double figures in that department now, thanks to those quick hands. And speaking of turnovers, the Rocks just got one, much to the chagrin of the cheerleaders.
Well, it appears to me that I think if Rock Island keeps one of those 6'8" kids in the game, that Muhammad can handle them. It would be interesting to see both of them in at the same time.
That other 6'8" guy for Rock Island, the coach is talking about, Brian Jones. Nice half hook by Kevin Green. Got down on the low post. That half hook is one of the hardest shots to block in all the game. 7 for Green. The Rocks hanging on by 1 here. Barnes again. Air. Nothing but air for Barnes. Kicking it out to Richardson all the way. Swatted out of bounds by Barnes, but they're going to say that Barnes got him with the body. Duncan Reed can't believe it. Duncan Reed has his back to the floor. Is this a foul? You call it at home. Well, he might have got him on the right shoulder there.
Yeah. See, the official watches the bodies there, and everybody else is watching the ball sail about 40 feet out of bounds. So I thought it was a good call.
I'll tell you what, Abdul Muhammad was the key to that fast break. He kicked it out down the floor. He can do a lot of things. Richardson for the tie.
You know what the key to the fast break was? A bad shot. You know, it seems to me that if Barnes has a second to catch it and set, he's going to put it down. But if you rush him like that time, his percentage is going to go down drastically.
Bloom Trail now has the lead at 24-23. We've got 4:25 remaining here in quarter number 1. Jamal Brack, Bill Geist, Frank Pisoni. Hoping you're enjoying the game this afternoon wherever you are. Allison doesn't shoot a lot. Gets it to Wortham. Now down low, Fontaine Walker. Back to Wortham. He's fouled.
As an example, Muhammad went for the steal, and he missed it, and then they had a little 5-on-4 advantage, and he hustled back, but he reached in and fouled.
Walker is more of a defensive board man for the Rock Island Rocks. He comes in averaging 3 points. That's why he kicked it back out to Wortham. There you see Coach Gary Meyer in his 6th year. Wortham gets the net. Well, we've got another good one here at the Assembly Hall. Game 1, in case you're just tuning in. Simeon of Chicago falls to St. Francis de Sales in overtime by 3. Rocks lead by 1 thanks to Mr. Wortham. Full court pressure, ho-hum, what else? Turnover, another one for Bloom Trail. From our vantage point, it looked like one of the Blazers stepped on the line, Coach. Hard to tell from across the court.
Yeah, he was getting some pressure there, and he took a step back and started losing his balance, and his foot must have hit the line.
Anthony Pulliam gets it down low Wortham. 8-foot turnaround is too hard, but Walker's got the rebound. Walker, nice pass to Wortham.
Yeah, great pass, because the passing lane was really blocked, except that with a kid 6'8", there's another passing lane. It's about 10 feet over the
a collision, and nothing's called. The Rocks come away with it. Pulliam, 18-footer, good. I thought he shot it too hard.
He did. I don't think he was planning on it going off the glass.
A lot of contact that time as Richardson came up court. The official decided no foul, and it turned out in the Rocks' favor. Richardson, 3-pointer, not there. Wortham with a rebound. Rocks could go up by 7. Just about a minute and 10 seconds ago, they were down by 1. Allison posting up low to Wortham. Turn around.
Well, Wortham knows where the basket is, doesn't he? He gets the ball, and it's going up.
Lamont Wortham, who was hot in the super sectional, has carried it down to Champaign. And with 3:16 remaining here in the first half, Wortham has 8. The Rocks have a 7-point lead. And let's pause for these messages. There you see what has transpired so far in the first quarter and a half from Assembly Hall. Bloom Trail will kick it in. If you would have told people in Illinois that Bloom Trail would be in the quarterfinals at Assembly Hall about 2 months ago, they would have laughed at you or shrugged it off, but they are here. And now a foul in the backcourt by Allison. One of the keys to Duncan Reed's success, Coach Geist, and I think you know that successful coaches have this in the state of Illinois in all states, is that is he has a good grade school program. The coaches down there know what the system is, and then he implements freshmen like Pulliam, sophomores like Allison. By the time juniors and seniors are there, it seems like they've been playing for 5 or 6 years.
Well, the key is to mix it up a little bit, too, and not have an all-senior lineup or whatever.
One thing that's keeping Bloom Trail in this game, as you just saw, free throws. They haven't missed one yet. This is John Davis. Rocks lead cut to 5. Bloom Trail will try and put some pressure on now, but it looks token at this point.
Right. I'll tell you, this pressure that Rock Island's putting on might be affecting Bloom Trail's defense because they don't want to go out and chase too much.
Pulliam, drive, pull up, 8-footer. That's too hard. Pittman, 3 and no. Ball is loose, and Muhammad picks it up and kicks it out to Richardson. Can he go? Oh, great steal by Allison. Great steal by Allison. You better slow it up. Kicks it out to Mentria. Mentria, good fake, foul. It won't go, but he'll go to the line. I don't think Mike Richardson ever saw Allison.
Now, this is a great hustle play back. He's going to have a nice floor burn for that, but he got the steal out of it. You don't expect somebody to dive on the floor and knock the ball away, and then he gets up and he recovers it and he goes down and makes a nice pass on a fast break.
In high school, those are called badges of courage, not floor burns. To us old guys, they're floor burns. Donald Mentria eyes it. Too hard.
Teams that aren't down here can go through a whole season without ever getting one of those.
Richardson checked out there. Shannon back in. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, those are things that don't necessarily show up in the scorebook either. You know, those little, he gets the steal, but the thought that he puts in the Bloom Trail player's head is that, hey, I'm going to be around you all the time going after that ball, so you better protect it.
Allison's like the fly at the family picnic, man. He's a pain.
All the Rock Island players try to play that way. That's the whole idea of their pressure.
Shannon wants a 15-footer. That's too hard. Rebound Mentria. Mentria loses it to Shannon. Mentria knocks it out of bounds. Man.
Well, he's got very long arms, and he just reached around and knocked it away. That was a good heads-up play after he lost it.
Well, Mentria's arms are so long he can cuff his pants without bending over. That's long. Davis, a good three-point shooter. He's hit 35 on the year. Passes up that one. We're at the 2-minute mark in the first half. Rocks by 6. Davis rolling down low, and we've got a whistle and a foul as Henley went up. Davis drew the traffic to him and then dumped it off to the forward. As I was saying before, Coach, you know, Bloom Trail, they went through an awful time this year, and of course they've lost 9 games. That's the most losses in the Elite 8, but they really got it together. Abdul Muhammad and his coach, Gary Meyer, had what we like to call philosophical differences. The coach thought maybe his star wasn't playing hard enough. They finally got together after a 2-game suspension, and then one of their other starters was dismissed from the team for disciplinary reasons, and that man, Steve Henley, came up and replaced him, and voila, suddenly things started to mold together.
Bloom Trail's record, I think, is a little misleading, too, because they did lose 6 games by 4 points or less.
Mentria to pull in, couldn't find a handle. Charge at the other end. Fortunately for Rock Island, a charge on Davis because that was money in the bank at the other end for Bloom Trail. It was a 2-on-0. There's Davis.
Charge. It's Allison again. Now, it's a good heads-up play. You know, they had the fast break. They had a basket. You can't stop it, so he stood there and hoped that he ran into him, and he did.
See Allison setting up, and that saved 2 points.
And he just ran him over. It was a good call by the official, too, to be observant and to be watching that.
Allison's the kind of kid, when he walks home, he goes, Mom, I created 2 charges. He doesn't say anything if he scores. Maurice Woods looking down low. Mentria, glass, too hard. Muhammad and company bring it out of there. Actually, that was Henley with the tip over to Davis. Bloom Trail may look like they're being outplayed, Coach, but they're only down by 4, and they can cut into that. Whistle and a foul underneath. They're going to call Lamont Wortham for shoving off. Bloom Trail tried to go down low to their main man, Abdul Muhammad, and Gary Meyer, as you can see, loves the call.
Well, I think you just made an interesting observation. It just seems like Rock Island is outplaying them. It seems like they're winning big, and you look at the scoreboard, and they're 4 up, and Bloom Trail can cut it to 2 here.
Duncan Reed had a few words for John Barnes, and they were between coach and player, and they were said or I should say stated rather sharply.
Hey, looking at him, I wouldn't want to mess with him.
Well, Duncan Reed's been coaching basketball in this state for a long time. Started out at Lincoln High School in 1965. Woods posts up and draws the foul. Henley will pick it up. He can't believe it.
Earlier in the game, Abdul Muhammad would have been over there blocking that shot. I don't know if he's getting a little tired or what, but I think on a one-on-one move like that, he's got to be helping out a little more.
Well, it's interesting. Barnes is sitting down now, and the same thing happened in the key game for Rock Island getting down here, and that was in the Moline regional game, and Barnes couldn't find a shot in the first half, just couldn't buy it. Duncan Reed set him down and said, when you come out, just concentrate, take the shot, you're going to get hot, and he did. He ended up with 28 on the night, and a fine Moline team went down.
Well, I think part of the problem is that the defense that Bloom Trail is playing against him. As I mentioned before, I think if he has a second to set himself and shoot, he's going to put it down. Bloom Trail's not giving him that many opportunities. Usually if an offensive player isn't doing too well, there's a reason for it.
This is turning into a free throw clinic here. Unlike game one, when missed free throws had a lot to do with the outcome, and St. Francis de Sales upended Simeon. Rocks by 6, 1:07 remaining in the first half. Keith Shannon brings it up for the Blazers. Inside, ball knocked away and saved, I believe, by Troy Dillard. Yeah, Dillard did a nice job of knocking it off someone's leg. The Blazers are so small that Coach Gary Meyer calls Dillard his power forward, and he stands 5'11".
It's a nice, smart play by a Bloom Trail player to knock it off the Rock player's leg.
Pretty move by Richardson, but fate said no. He did everything but get it to fall down. It came right back out. Let's see if the Rocks hang on for one final shot before the intermission. Barnes back in the game.
I think this is their four-corner offense, and they'll go for one shot here with a little over 30 seconds to go.
Barnes guarded out front by Brian Lavelle. Lavelle wears number 22. Well, let's see. Will Rock Island lead by 6 at the half? Will it be 8, or will Bloom Trail come up with a turnover and cut it to 4? Woods standing around there now. Woods helps out. Woods is loose, but decides to kick it back out. Too much time on the clock, he says.
It's a good decision.
Now they got to go. Mentria will kick it in. Mentria stops, scoops, but can't get it to fall. Muhammad almost had it stolen, and he'll take an 80-footer and not get it. Duncan Reed applauds as he leaves the court. He likes what he sees. Mentria made the move, couldn't get it to fall, but the Rocks have the edge here at the intermission. 34-28. We'll come back with more from the Assembly Hall, including some halftime guests with Art Kimball. But first, one of your network sponsors is Country Company. Back live at the Assembly Hall. We're glad you're along. The Rocks leading Bloom Trail 34-28. Jim Albrecht along with Bill Geist. And Coach, before this game started, Duncan Reed said, we got to stop their big man from having an exceptional contest. Abdul Muhammad at this point, 2 points.
Yeah, he hasn't had any kind of a contest, let alone exceptional. That's got to worry Coach Meyer, I think. You expect more from him, and he's not giving it to you right now. He did take him out for a while and talk to him and let him sit. I'm sure he's doing a lot more talking to him right now, but I think he's got to get into the flow of the game. He's too good a player to have that type of half again. At least if you're a Bloom Trail fan, you sure hope so.
And one aspect that Bloom Trail has going for them right now, their free throws are keeping them in the contest. But again, a fact we alluded to in the first quarter, how much will it take out of Bloom Trail, that Rock Island pressure? I mean, it's on from the minute they hit the floor to the minute the game's over.
Well, like I said, I think at the last 2 minutes of the third quarter and the fourth quarter, we're going to see exactly how much that pressure is going to do to them. Once they get tired, their shots are going to fall a little bit short. As I mentioned with Abdul Muhammad, at one time late in the second half, he didn't go over to block a shot that I think he could have had. When you're tired, you don't think about those things. When you're fresh, you do. So those are some little things that where you are tired and you're not going to do some things that normally you do. And, well, we'll see in the fourth quarter.
On the positive side for Rock Island, John Barnes is having an off day shooting, so far anyway, but Lamont Wortham, who averages all of 6.5 points a game, has come in, he's posting up low, and he's turning around like a veteran. He's knocking that thing down.
Well, he looks good shooting it, too. I mean, he's got a lot of confidence, and they got that little Squirt Allison out there just racing all over the court. He's a great spark plug for him, a great spark plug.
That's one thing that, of course, Duncan Reed really relies on, and that is his bench. And at the outset of this game,
Frank Tassoni asked him, how do you get your kids to play so hard? And Reed jokingly replied, fear, but he kind of means it because if you don't play well for a minute or two, he's got somebody on the bench who will.
It's not necessarily well, it's hard. He wants to play hard. And Allison, I don't know if he scored a point, but he was a big factor in that second quarter.
Yeah, he's a big factor, all right. Let's go now to the court. Actually, let's take a break, and we'll come back with Mr. Art Kimball. One of your network sponsors is the Illinois Beef Council.
We have an interesting group assembled here from the Quad City area at halftime. And let me go to my notes and make sure I have all the names right. Hank Sundin and his son Jeff. And then we have Jeff Van Hoerwedgie, all from the Quad City area. And you fellas have been coming to the state tournament, I understand, for quite a while. Hank, how many years have you brought the kids down here to enjoy this show?
Well, this is my son's second year. He's a 7th grader, and I didn't want to bring him down before. I thought he'd really appreciate it, and I brought him down last year, and he had a good time, and so I brought him down this year again, and we'll do so in the future.
Jeff, how'd you get out of school today?
Well, I didn't actually go to school. We just waited until our ride came, and
you didn't show up at all, but you have an excuse, right?
yeah.
Andy, you enjoy the tournament?
Yeah. This is my first year down, and I really enjoy it so far.
Yeah, Hank.
That's Andy. That's Jeff.
Okay, let's get it squared away. Let's get back to Jeff then. First year down, and what have you enjoyed?
I really like the basketball and see the good teams down here.
Now, you two fellas both go to parochial school in the Quad Cities, and you're both headed for Alleman, is that right?
Yes.
Alleman first year as a Class A team. What do you think of that?
Well, for being their first year with the coach who can really get the job done, I thought they really could have made it, but it just got by the luck of the draw.
What do we need to do to get the junior high youngsters interested in high school basketball again? Jeff, you got any thoughts on that?
Just get excited in junior high when you're playing basketball.
Well, Hank, it's got to be kind of a labor of love for you. I know you've been close to the Illinois High School Association for a long time, but it's nice to have the boys enjoy it, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and it's really a great show. I mean, it's probably the best show in the state. The kids have a chance to see 8 great teams play in 2 days, and it gives them a little bit of inspiration, a little incentive to work towards getting here when they reach that level.
Well, it's good to have you with us. You didn't know you were going to be on television today, but congratulations, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Thanks a lot, fellas.
Thank you.
All right, now back to the bench and Jim Albrecht.
Thank you very much, Art. I'm feeling old. One of those kids out there, I went to school with his dad. That's not good. 3 minutes before we go to the second half. The Rocks leading 34-28 here at the half. We're going to take a look at some of the first half statistics. And as we mentioned earlier, free throws a big part for Bloom Trail. But when the turnovers come up, take a look at the turnovers that Rock Island has created. And it's amazing that Bloom Trail is only 6 points down. But on the other hand, Rock Island has turned the ball over a little bit too much, too, I'm sure.
They've reciprocated a little bit. You know what's interesting about Bloom Trail is when you're not playing well in one aspect of your game, you can keep yourself in there by doing well in another, and I think that's where the free throws are. I don't think well, they've got a good shooting percentage, but they're not getting that many shots. I don't think they're playing that well, and yet they're only 6 points down, and I think a lot of that is because of that free throws.
Shooting-wise, Rock Island 39% in this first half on the year. They hit 45% of their attempts. Rocky has 1 3-pointer in that. That, of course, by John Barnes, their 3-point expert. Bloom Trail's right about where they shoot on the year, 47-48%. But again, the major fact there, how many shots you get off. That's what you got to put them up.
Yeah, plus I'm a little surprised that the 3-point shot hasn't been more of a factor in this game. Because looking at their the season statistics before that, it was. And today we've had one. I think Bloom Trail have tried a couple of them, but haven't made them. But it really hasn't been much of a factor.
Between Richardson and Davis, the 2 guards for Bloom Trail, they've made over 90 on the year, but none today. Scoring in the first half, Barnes leading the way despite not finding the mark at all. Late in the second quarter, he even hit an air ball. Woods with a good game. We've had about Maurice Woods inside. He's been getting some good passes from his mates. Wortham with 8. As usual, good balance for Rock Island. That's what they're all about. Now taking a look at the Bloom Trail. Balance is alive there. Green Davis with 7. Henley with 6. Richardson with 4. We're coming back with more action from the Assembly Hall. But first, one of your network sponsors is the American Dairy Association of Illinois. Don't forget our coverage of the Class AA Boys Tournament in the state of Illinois resumes this evening at 7 o'clock when the Evanston Wildcats take on defending state champion East St. Louis Lincoln. And then if you're into horse racing and basketball, the combination thereof, Peoria Manual and Aurora East will follow. The Tomcats never stay in one place for more than a second or two.
I think if I was a Bloom Trail fan, I'd hope that Abdul Muhammad would come to play the second half. If you're Rock Island, I think you want Barnes to come to play.
Richardson, their three-point expert, shoots air, but fortunately they come out with it as Kevin Green got the rebound and kicked it out front. Richardson's having a tough day, and I think that Rocky D has a lot to do with it. Davis. There's Richardson's area, but that one's no good either. Rebound fought for and put right back up and in by Abdul Muhammad.
I think it was Steve Henley that kept that thing alive. It might have looked like Abdul Muhammad did something well, but that was the ball just bounced to him and he put it back up.
Barnes, 17-footer, too much iron. Rebound tipped out and brought down by Davis.
Your observation about Mike Richardson, I think, is a good one. I think, and this is there. He's got another
three-pointer.
His coach understands this and he wants to get him into the game.
Fontaine Walker grabbed the board for the Rocks after it hit the floor. Anthony Pulliam, the freshman, starting the second half, along with Donald Mentria, Maurice Woods, Fontaine Walker. Oh, Mentria made a bad pass. Does he get it back? No. Richardson wants it. Woods picks it up. Man, this is wild. Woods off the glass too hard. What's the call? Charge. He's charging on Maurice Woods.
Steve Henley, he took the charge. Steve Henley has got his hands on 3 or 4 balls already this quarter, and now he just picked up a charge. He's doing a lot of good things, and he's a sophomore too, man. He's playing very well.
The reason Woods charged is because he leaned in instead of going straight up. Had he gone straight up, no call would have been forthcoming, but he did lean in as he went up, so the official with the correct call there. Bloom Trail with a chance to cut it to 2. Green goes inside to Muhammad. Nice pass over to... Now they're moving the ball. Henley has it blocked, though, by Mentria. Here come the Rocks. It's a 2-on-3, and will Pulliam wait? Yes, he will wait for his mates. Barnes hasn't hit his shooting stride yet. Wortham and Woods had outstanding first halves. Pulliam trying to look inside. Nobody there. Get it to Mentria. He'll penetrate. Put it up, and nice touch.
I thought it was going to be a little hard, but he got a roll. It's a little quieter, hasn't it, this quarter so far? With all that racing around we had the first half.
Mentria with 4 on the day so far. The Rocks have their 6-point lead back. Richardson to Muhammad, and it's stolen away. And Fontaine Walker will stroll home. Muhammad's not hungry enough right now. He didn't want that ball. He didn't come and get it.
No, he's going after the ball with one hand, and then he's not going after it hard at all. And
Davis on the left wing, looking inside. Muhammad cuts out. They can't get it to him. Good defense. Maurice Woods is playing in-your-face D on Abdul Muhammad. Green penetrates. We got a whistle and a foul on Maurice Woods. You can't believe it.
You know, it might be the defense that's got Muhammad down a little bit too. Sometimes you make your cut and you can't get open and you get a little discouraged, and then when you do get the ball, you might have it stripped, and you know, there can be a lot of reasons for this. But and I agree with you that it doesn't seem like he's working as hard as he should.
It's the same old problem. You can't get the outside shooting. You can't get the ball inside. Muhammad is having all kinds of problems getting that pass in down low. And Richardson usually opens it up for him with that 17-point average, but Richardson hasn't found his touch here today.
Trail's got to be careful here. We got an 8-point game now, and they started out this quarter slow. You don't want to lose it here in the first few minutes.
Could be a bad omen. They only missed 1 free throw in the first half, and now they missed 2 on 1 trip down. Donald Mentria playing keep away with Shannon. Pulliam, 15-footer, too hard. Rebound fought for. Woods had it, lost it, but Walker gets it back. Oh, Pulliam almost walked there. Walker in the lane. Barnes, turn around. That's the biggest lead of the ball game for Rock Island, and the Rocky fans, and it should be noted, are here in force. Down low, Muhammad blocked out of there by Mentria. Here comes the Rocks, 2-on-1. Barnes, pull up, 15-footer, count it.
That's 2 in a row for their star.
He's got it back. The Rocks are in command by 12 with 4:24 remaining in the third quarter. Bloom Trail not only wants to talk it over, they have to talk it over. Over 1,500 Rock fans on their feet. And we'll come back at the Assembly Hall, but first, one of your network sponsors is Country Companies. The Rock Island Rocks with pressure again. Mentria steals the inbound. Quickness, long arms,
well, I don't
hustle.
know. Yeah, but
that's a bad pass, though.
Yeah, but at the timeout.
Fontaine Walker, Rocky up by 14.
At the timeout, Bloom Trail walked over to their huddle. They weren't very enthusiastic. It's almost like they looked at the scoreboard and figured, you know, they've lost. Somebody has got to come, one or two guys at least have got to come forward for Bloom Trail now to get them back in the game. But I don't like the mental aspect for them. They seem down, and maybe they're a little worn out.
The time is now for Bloom Trail. 3:52 remaining here in the third quarter. They're down by 14.
Rock Island has switched defenses now after that timeout to a zone. Looks like a 1-3-1.
That's exactly what it is. Shannon Davis can't shake free for that three-pointer. Down low, Henley, and that won't go. Rebound is contested heavily underneath, and we've got walking called on Rock Island. Fontaine Walker went up strong. Now, Fontaine Walker quit playing organized basketball after he was a freshman and decided he wanted to get back into it. Now he's starting in the quarterfinals of the state tournament. Davis dogged by Ventria. Down low, Muhammad, and he'll be blocked, but a foul on Barnes. Barnes went up inch for inch with Muhammad that time. Barnes is not very tall. He only stands 5'10", but ladies and gentlemen, he can dunk your donut if you'd like him to. He can get up there.
Like Abdul Muhammad might have been going after the dunk there, and all of a sudden he's got a jam down his throat. Looks like he got him a little bit on the arm, I guess.
Mostly with the body. Muhammad, a good free throw shooter.
Might have been a good foul because he dunks the ball. That might have got him going.
Muhammad hasn't missed a free throw today. He's good down here. On the season, however, only 58%. Full court pressure by Bloom Trail. Nice pass to Woods. Woods will wait for some help. Anthony Pulliam. Oh, nice defense that time down low by Muhammad as he knocked it away. Rock's trying to go low post. Muhammad read it. And the turnover gives Davis and company a chance to cut it to 10 or less with the three-pointer. See if they look inside for Muhammad. There he is, 15-footer.
Now he's starting to score a little bit, and just the other time down there, he got a steal. You know, this looks good for if you're Bloom Trail fan.
As the Rocks turn it over, I was just about to say, don't forget, if you're following Rock Island basketball, and if you don't know anything about their tournament trail down here, they have seemed to make everything exciting in the last quarter. No matter what happens, it seems to go down to the wire. At least that has been the case in 3 of the 5 games they've played to come down here. Shannon.
When you play that run and gun style of
Henley inside, can't get it, gets his own rebound, but it's knocked away by Walker, picked up by Henley.
When you play that run and gun style of play, you can score a lot of points quickly, but you can also give them up. And I think this is what this is a danger in that when you play like that.
Bloom Trail has ran off 6 points in a row here. Woods in trouble, shakes free, got it. How did he do that? It looked like he was triple teamed. He made a move, and then nobody was there.
It looked like Bloom Trail had another steal and going down the other end, and all of a sudden he snuck in there and got the shot.
That's walking. That's walking out front on Steve Henley. Henley looked up, thought he had a man open. The Rocks covered, and he dragged the pivot foot. A big bucket by Woods because Bloom Trail was on a 6-point run there. And the Rocks get it back up to 10. 16 turnovers now for Bloom Trail, but as you see, the Rocks, not exactly angels in that category. They have the even dozen. Ball batted out of bounds by Richardson. I really think the key so far has been the Rocks' perimeter defense, Coach. That's what I think. Obviously, they're doing a good job on Muhammad, but Richardson and Davis, who averaged 27 points between them, have just really not gotten free for their shots. Woods is free again. He'll go up. No call. Rebound fought for. Contested. In and out of there. Barnes couldn't get it to fall. And here comes Bloom Trail. Shannon in a hurry. Gets it over to Henley. Charge. 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 And it was Donald Mentria who set up shop in the paint.
Hey, this is always a good defensive play when you're outnumbered on a fast break is to look for the charge with the man with the ball. Because sometimes they forget to stop. You can see his momentum just takes them right into the defender.
And again, that's a sure, too, if the charge call isn't made because Henley was free for the lay-in. Maurice Woods, the senior. Nice bounce pass across as the Rocks spread it out. Minute 20 remaining third quarter. Woods off the glass. Not enough. And the rebound comes down. Last touch by Rock Island.
One of the problems with Bloom Trail's half-court offense is they're not passing well enough. As you mentioned, the Rock Island's perimeter defense is very good, but you've got to do a little penetrating and then dump the ball off to an open man, or get it inside and then pop the ball back out to an open man. They don't seem to be getting too many open shots. A lot of it seems to be one-on-one type moves.
Maurice Woods comes out for a breather. It looked as Maurice walked by us that he would prefer to stay on the court between the lines, but Lamont Wortham was checked in for it.
It's up to the trail. It's up to the players. They never want to come out.
Richardson passes it to a man on the floor. Muhammad, who passes it back. It won't fall. Tip, tip, Henley. Yep. Rocks throw it away. Richardson blocking a foul. They're going to call Walker with a foul. Well, the Rocks got a dose of their own pressured medicine there. What was a 14-point lead is now 8.
Bloom Trail coaches, I think, want a goaltending call, I guess. Let's see if we can tell.
Ventria on the outside. No, that's not a goaltending call. That was Walker.
Even you saw that. Oh, not even a trained eye. Oh, very good. I think I underestimated you.
Well, that's my best defense.
You almost didn't have anything to say there, too.
Here's that pass to Muhammad. Watch this. Yeah, I'll get it. Okay.
He could have gotten an assist here if he puts it in. That would have been a great assist on the floor.
So Richardson makes 1 of 2. Bloom Trail is close to within 7, and folks, they're not out of it. Don't even think it. Barnes, pressure. Gets it over to Wortham. The Rocks might just sit on this and take 1 shot before the quarter.
Jim, do you think the way Bloom Trail's playing defense that they're a little tired right now? We're talking about them being worn down. They're not worn down. They just got their second win.
Pulliam in trouble. Loses it. Wortham picks it up and goaltender. Lamont Wortham is too high and too tall for that not to be goaltender.
Well, again, I think the ball hit the backboard first, and then the player touched it, and that's automatic.
For Wortham, 10 points now. The Rocks got fortunate on that basket because the ball looked like it was stolen by Bloom Trail, but Wortham came up with it. 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Henley drive. Good move, and he's going to be called with the charge. The Bloom Trail Blazer fans, if you can hear them behind us, not very appreciative of the charging call, but they'll have to live with it. Wortham helps out as Bloom Trail pressures. Walker gets it across court. 10 seconds, 9. Let's see if the Rocks can knock one down. Mentria, 3-pointer. Oh! That's the way the third quarter will come to an end with Mentria from downtown. 51-39, the Rocks back up by 12. Bloom Trail in trouble. We'll come back with more from the Assembly Hall where the Rock fans are going wild. After this, from one of your network sponsors, John Deere. Rock Island's Donald Mentria has hit 14 3-pointers on the year. Well, make it 15.
That one really hurt. What do we got here? 12 points. They were 9 up going into that, or Bloom Trail was 9 down, and then that goes up to 12 right at the end of the quarter. And when Bloom Trail had some momentum, that could be the biggest shot of the game.
It's been a crazy game. We almost had an assist from someone laying on the floor. I mean, that's how crazy it's been. Up and down, back and forth. Rocks working around the perimeter. Pulliam looks inside for Woods, finds him. Woods doesn't want the shot because Muhammad had good defense on him. Walker, good kick pass inside, but they lose the basketball. Last touch, they say, however, by Bloom Trail. Looked like Henley got a hand in there.
It looked to me like he got a hand in there, but it bounced off the Rock Island player's leg. That's why I thought the outside official might help a little bit, but evidently the official underneath thought he saw it nice and clear.
Yeah, Abdul Muhammad is checking out. Checking in is Troy Dillard. Barnes way outside, in and out. Rocks almost had the rebound, but coming down with it is Kevin Green. The ball spun around on the rim one too many times, otherwise the Rocks would have cleared that. Bloom Trail hanging tough. Ball knocked out of bounds by Maurice Woods of Rock Island. Blazers will maintain possession.
Somebody from Bloom Trail's got to get hot here, I think, to hit a couple three-pointers or something like that. I think Richardson might be the one to do that. But they definitely need a spark.
Duncan Reed and his staff yelling out the defensive play here. Jump shot not there by Dillard. Somehow he gets it back. It goes over to Green, but he can't get it to fall, and the wildness continues here. Whistle and a foul, they say, on Troy Dillard. I couldn't see who had the ball for Rock Island. He was surrounded by a couple of Blazers. After the third quarter, Rocky's field goal percentage up to 45. Bloom Trails down to 42. Again, the shot difference, 13 more shots taken by the Rocks. Rebounds about even, but those 16 turnovers are what is hurting Bloom Trail right now. Oh, almost stolen away by Richardson. And it is. They say he knocked it off a Rock Island player. They say he knocked it off of Donald Mentria. That was a good heads-up play by Mike Richardson, the junior out of Bloom Trail. He better hurry. Finally gets it in to Kevin Green. Davis wanted a three-pointer, but good defense by Mentria. Ball's loose again. Barnes picks it up. Richardson grabs it. Jump ball.
Good job, John. They've been calling these quick jump balls most of the game, so I think it's a little quick, but they're being very consistent with it, and that's what's important.
Davis takes free of Mentria, tries the three-pointer and gets it. So John Davis brings Bloom Trail back to within 9, 51-42. Barnes the other way. Pull up. Too hard. Rebound Richardson's Bloom Trail. He comes out of there with it. Oh, good defense by Rock Island. Ball tipped around and Richardson somehow came back with it. Inside, Henley, yeah! Will it count? They're going to call him for charging. They're going to call Henley with a charge. And the basket is for naught. Now, explain the difference between high school and college as far as that call is concerned, because in college and the pros, it counts.
Well, I don't know. It's not supposed to count in high school because they don't, but I've seen it when the ball's released that some officials will. I didn't think that was a charge. I hate to criticize the official, but it seemed like he made a nice quick move and the player moved in there.
The Rocks get the benefit of that call as Barnes gets it taken away from behind by Davis. Up ahead to Richardson. The foot race and the foul by Mentria, who cannot agree with the call.
Well, it sure looked like a foul. A lot of times it's not whether it is a foul, it's whether it looks like it or not.
Well, what Mentria did was reach around from behind, and usually that will be called a foul.
Yeah, if we see it here, I think, see, there's a nice reach in. You get the steal. See, defense gets you back in the game.
Whoa.
See, when this thing, the official was underneath the hoop looking at it. I think you got a different call, but he's way over on the other side of the court, and he's got to call what he thinks he sees.
Well, let me put it this way. Considering their pay scale, and considering the way this game is going up and down the floor, I'm glad I'm not out there doing it.
We're worried about the players getting worn out. What about the poor officials, right?
Bloom Trail not out of this one, not at all. They refuse to fade as Richardson hits two. It's a 7-point game with 6:07 remaining. Inbound to Woods. Woods double team, shakes free and breaks it all by himself. Woods better watch out. See if the Rocks spread this out or go for the hole. Go for the hole. Walker in and out. Rebound fought for. Coming out of there with it is Henley. Both Muhammad and Henley had that rebound for Bloom Trail. Richardson the other way. Man open. Muhammad blocked from behind. I think John Barnes, the man who came up with a big defensive play. That's who it was.
Muhammad can't quite believe that. I think he was looking for a foul.
See, from that angle, we couldn't tell. Three-pointer Richardson. No. Rebound Woods. Had Bloom Trail hit that three-pointer, we got a tight one. Still not all that loose.
No, well, there's still only 7 down, and we got 5.5 minutes to go. There's a lot of basketball to be played.
Richardson takes it away again. Richardson 2-on-1 by himself, blocked by Mentria. Beautiful defense by the Rocks. Mentria spots Woods, cherry picking. Foul. Woods never made it back down on that play because the transition happened so quickly, so Mentria looked up, found number 33 all alone, and that's what you call a good foul at the other end by Bloom Trail, Kevin Green. And Woods was all alone.
Good hustle back. He brought the ball back over his head, and then he kind of drew the foul rather than the smart play on the offensive player's part.
Woods makes the free throw. Keep in mind, Rock Island has not been hitting their free throws in the crucial fourth quarter during the tournament.
I think we're going to see a lot of coaching in this last 5 minutes because this really has been a hectic game, and you've got to keep fresh people in the game. And I haven't seen as many substitutes this half as we did the first, so I'm not quite sure why, but I look at some tired faces out there right now.
Woods, 1 of 2, makes it an 8-point game, and Lamont Wortham will be called for the foul from behind. Don't forget tonight, we've got Evanston and East St. Louis Lincoln. Can East St. Louis Lincoln repeat? They'd be the first team since 71 and 72 when Thornridge did it to pull it off again. We got a timeout on the floor. Duncan Reed will talk it over with his Rocks. Gary Meyer with his Blazers. Rock Island with an 8-point lead, 5:03 left. One of your network sponsors is the Illinois Beef Council. The word for the final 5 minutes and 3 seconds of this game will be pressure. Not mental pressure, but physical pressure. Because Bloom Trail's going to be on them just like Rock Island was on them the entire contest.
Well, there's going to be a lot of it, that's for sure. It's interesting, too, is that I think if you're a Rock Island fan, you'd like to see them take some better shots than they have the last couple times down. But I don't think they play that way. I think they don't want to slow it up. They don't believe in that. They get a good shot, and then they're going to shoot it regardless of the game situation.
You can tell Muhammad's a little bit down because he hasn't been able to explode like he usually does offensively, but he is concentrating at the free throw line, and that's what you call mental toughness, when you're not having a good day from the floor, but you make those free throws. 6-point game, full court pressure. Woods in trouble, gets it back. Then three, better hurry. They got about 4 seconds left. They get it across. Anthony Pulliam, the freshman, playing catch out front with Mentria. High post for Wortham. They're kicking around again. Another steal. Muhammad kicked it out of there. Here comes Davis. They can make it a 4-point game. Richardson open, blocked out of bounds by Mentria. Where does Mentria come from?
A lot of very good defensive plays here. We had one by Muhammad down at the other end, and now we have a blocked shot here.
Richardson is 1 of 12 on the afternoon. That is what's really hurting Bloom Trail, but to their credit, they're hanging tough. Will he be 1 of 13? Yeah. Ball fought for, out of bounds, Rock Island. That's a tough call. Both teams looking at the official as if, well, who's this?
Richardson just can't get untracked. He had a good shot there, and he just won't fall for him.
Mentria pinched in the corner, gets it in the middle. Fontaine Walker's free if he wants to be, but he makes the bad pass, and now it's loose on the floor and a jump ball. The arrow is in favor of the Rocks.
Yeah, Rock Island keeps it to the arrow. That's the bad news for Bloom Trail. The good news is they'll get the next one.
And it's not like you're saying, well, Richardson can't play in the clutch games. Remember one thing, you don't get a chance to come down here and play in Assembly Hall. No. It's a different environment altogether, and you're not used to it. It's not like shooting out back of the house. Rocks will spread it out.
And now they're gonna wear him down a little bit and I would assume get good shots if they can. Close to the
Woods breaks free, and he's fouled by Muhammad.
See, that's what you want to do. You want to spread them out, and then if you get, they like to go one-on-one, it seems. You spread them out, you get a chance to go one-on-one, go to the hoop, you can. If not, you just keep it outside.
And also, Coach, the wider court has a definite factor.
Yeah, the college, all of a sudden the college court makes that four-corner offense a lot tougher.
Rocks lead it by 6. One of your network sponsors, the American Dairy Association of Illinois. We're watching game 1 of the quarterfinals this afternoon, which we hope you did here on the IHSA television network. You know what that 15-foot free throw line means. It means the difference between sometimes coaches finding another profession as far as that's concerned.
Well, it looks so easy sometimes because you're out there and there's no defense, but a lot of times it just depends on the game situation, whether your teammate has just missed one or not, or made them. And like I said before, it's kind of catchy. You make them. All of them seem to go down. You start missing them, and then the next guy gets up there and he starts thinking about it too. You know, we just were talking while we're off the air. The Kirk commercial was going. I'm thinking Bloom Trail's had it. Let's wrap this thing up, and they're only 7 down, and we have just under 4 minutes to go. They're still really in this game.
Woods gets 1 out of 2. Time now. 3:50 remaining in the game.
Got to change the defense here. We got another zone by Rock Island. 2-3 zone. He seems to like to change his defense after timeouts.
Richardson hasn't had the hot hand at all. They get it inside to Henley. It won't go. Rebound Mentria. Big rebound for Donald Mentria, and they'll just kind of take their time on down the court now. And Richardson dogging him.
That was a big miss because he did have a good shot at it.
Walker underneath Woods. Fakes, puts it up and hits it. That's a big basket. Rocky back up by 9.
He's really had a good game for himself, Woods. He does a nice job. He's got patience when he gets the ball. He fakes and he waits for the opening and then goes up or passes it out.
Woods with 15 on the afternoon. Down low, Muhammad. That's 2. That's money in the bank, and that's what they haven't been able to do, Coach, this afternoon, is get him on the low post. That's free.
You know, the whole purpose of this zone by Rock Island might just be to keep Bloom Trail off the line, make them earn their basket, and stay in that zone and not commit any more fouls.
55-48, Rock Island, 2:44 remaining, foul out front. Richardson will send Mentria to the line. Both teams in the bonus. There you see Mike Richardson, only a junior. He'll be back. Bloom Trail, not that old of a school. They've only been around for 12 years. This is their first Elite 8 tournament appearance. Mentria in and out. That's 1-1 they missed. The Blazers can make it a 5-point game. Pulling up is Henley, can't get it to fall. Rebound Muhammad. It is a 5-point game.
That was a great rebound. He really wanted that one.
Barnes, 2-on-2 all the way. Jams it.
Oh, did that surprise you or what? I figured there's another block shot. All of a sudden, we got a dunk and a foul.
Cleared for takeoff, John Barnes. I'll tell you one man he's surprised. That was Muhammad.
I'm surprised that got me too. Watch this. I figure this thing's going up in the... He's going to block that thing into the stands, and he just accelerated up in the air and dunked that thing. That's a great athletic play.
We mentioned earlier, this man can do that. He can't complete the three-point play. They almost keep it alive. But Trail, 57-50 now. Bloom Trail with the basketball, and they have it taken away, not for long, because Mentria and company back there to take it away. We got a 5-on-3 underneath Fontaine Walker. Yes.
Now, that time 3 Bloom Trail players got caught up court trying to press, and there was a wide open man underneath.
Gary Meyer wants a timeout, can't get it. His team doesn't see it. 3-point air ball. Mentria all the way, and it is not there, but he's fouled. Well, now you have the feeling that it is sewn up, although nothing's ever complete. Gary Meyer wanting a timeout, as his team came down the floor. Davis didn't see him, threw up a three-point air ball, and now he finally gets his timeout, but it might be too late. Rocky leads by 9, 1:50 left. Let's pause for these messages.
Timeout clip.
Bloom Trail out of timeouts and maybe out of time. 1:50 remaining in this one. The Rocks, who had a 14-point lead in the third quarter, saw that dissipate. Now they put on another run, electrifying the crowd. John Barnes. He was going down 1-on-2, and everybody's saying, well, will he hold up? Will he pull out? And then he just takes off.
I'll say the one thing I didn't think he was going to do is dunk the ball.
It boils down simply to if the Rocks make their free throws, the Bloom Trail Blazers will bow out. Manchuria trying to make it an 11-point game.
It's really been a game of streaks, it seems. Rock Island pulls ahead a little bit, and Bloom comes back, and Rock Island pulls ahead, Bloom comes back. I don't know if they've got enough time to come back again.
They need some three-pointers. Down low. Whistle and a foul. Kevin Green called for the charge.
Rock Island does that very well. That's about the third or fourth one I think they've picked up. They really look to take charges on penetration. It's a good coaching move by Duncan Reed, and it's a good move for the kid because they have to take some punishment when they take that charge.
Working against the pressure. They got a man free down here. That's Manchuria. That's two. The Rock Island Rocks are only 90 seconds away from the semifinals at state. Richardson's shot no good. Woods with a rebound, and he's fouled. It's just about over at the Assembly Hall. The Rock Island Rocks, who their coach is fond of saying sometimes win games just because they play hard. Not because they're shooting well or not because they're doing all the things that he wants them to do, but just because they play hard. And I guess as a coach, you can't argue with that.
No, because that's, here we have a replay of the last play. But, you know, as a, nice soft pass. As a coach, you know that offense kind of comes and goes. That's not really a constant too often. But hard work and defense should be constant. You should have that every game. And I think that's what Coach Reed means by that, and he's got his players believe in it.
Woods stays at 15, and Tria with 10 now. Davis the other way. Gets it stripped away by Woods. It's a 3-on-2. Woods all the way down. That ball's tipped on the way up, and we've got a rebound by Bloom Trail, headed out of bounds. Rock Island basketball.
A few times down the court, Bloom Trail has forgot their teamwork. It's all one-on-one, and Rock Island just swarms to the ball, and that's why they're getting the ball stolen or they're getting block shots or whatever. What you want to do is penetrate and dump the ball out, and they just haven't had that.
Well, Gary Meyer has called it a game. He will send in his reserves. Andrew Agnew, wearing number 21, will check in. James McKinney, wearing number 20, will check in. Brian Lavelle also checks in for Bloom Trail. Here comes Chris Allison and Brian Jones for the Rocks, along with Shane McGaughy. You know, he didn't even use, Coach Duncan Reed didn't really use Jones at all this year. He didn't have to. Well, Wortham was playing so well inside, and they're interchangeable parts.
The only thing is, though, that tomorrow he's going to have to use them, I think, against St. Francis de Sales because of their size, and now he's going to get a minute of experience in this game, and that's all. I don't know if that'll hurt him or not. We'll have to wait and see.
Rick Kelly also in the game for the Rocks. Rick Kelly wears number 22. Donnie White wears number 34. He checked in for Duncan Reed. The big man out there, that's Brian Jones wearing number 45. Shane McGaughy, number 32, ball loose on the floor. 54 seconds remaining. Bloom Trail comes out of there with it. James McKinney takes it all the way down, but the ball ends up out of bounds Rock Island's way. It's been a scramble, folks. It's been a scramble. If you're one of those basketball fans that likes it all pretty and aesthetic, you don't really find that when you see a team pressing all the time, it just messes everything up. You know, I mean, it just messes the flow, and that's what Rock Island does. Jones the other way has it taken away, but a foul call. So the Rocks will be at the free throw line.
This is going to be a long last 40 seconds. You got a lot of new players in the game, and they're a little bit nervous, and there's a lot of chasing and hacking going on. And
well, there you see what happens when you come down to Champaign. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. For the Rocks, today's a W. For Bloom Trail, the Cinderella team of this tournament. Everybody wants to win.
Well,
that's not how it's designed.
No, I tell you, but I just think the accomplishment is getting down here.
That's right.
Now, if you can do something when you're down here, I think that's wonderful. But just getting down here, I mean, what a great thing for the school, coaches, and players. Everybody connected with the community. Of course, everybody would like to win, but, you know, as you just said, it's not designed that way. But to feel bad because you get down here and lose the game, that's ridiculous.
Brian Lavelle picked up that foul, so Jones, who just missed the free throw, is back there again. Actually, now they say Troy Dillard picked up the personal foul. That's his fourth. Jones 0 for 2 from the free throw line.
That's really a high-arching shot, isn't it? Plus, he's so darn tall. He's 6'6" anyway. He's got to look a little bit higher. We're used to watching all these midgets shoot.
The Bloom Trail starters thinking about those turnovers. Here's a steal by Lavelle. He'll go in and score with 20 seconds remaining. Rock Island's lead is safe at 12. Allison the other way. Allison down. Nice bounce pass over to McGahee, and he scores. Ball knocked away again. 5 seconds. Allison out front. He hit it. That's the way this one ends. Rock Island with a flurry. As they've done all day long. Flurry, flurry, flurry. They end with it 69-52. We'll come back to wrap it up. One of your network sponsors is the Country Company. Duncan, you made it to the semifinals. A couple of keys in the first half. Wortham had an outstanding first half. It almost looked like it carried over from the Super Sectional.
Well, he played all right. It was a team victory. We struggled a little bit early. I thought we did a good job defensively. We weren't getting anything done offensively, and then every loose ball was going in their hands for easy shots, but we persevered. We beat a team we should have beaten. Now, the next games we play, I don't know if we should beat any. He beat them, but by golly, it's fun to be in there, and we'll just, I don't know how in the world you're going to stop that Anderson kid. I thought they were out of it, and they come back and win. But, and the guard's awfully good, so we'll just have to come out and play a heck of a ball game to stay in that basketball game.
Pressure was the key today. Can you pressure DeSales? Are they that pressurable?
I don't know. Number 10 is awfully hard to press. And they got, of course, always have size to throw to an Anderson, so that makes a difference, too. We'll have to formulate some kind of game plan, but we are going to be in there, and we are going to show up, and so we got 2 games tomorrow, and I'm happy.
All right, Duncan Reed, congratulations on the victory. That's Duncan Reed. His Rocks will go against DeSales tomorrow. Don't forget, we come back tonight at 7 o'clock for another contest. Right now, let's go to Frank Fasoni. Frank?
All right, Jim, thank you very much. So earlier today, Chicago Simeon went down to DeSales 60-57 in overtime. DeSales 28-1 moving into the semifinals. They're joined now by the Rocks of Rock Island, who took out Bloom Trail 69-52. Rock Island's record is now 27-4. Tonight, Evanston 25-5 will meet the defending champions 25-4 East St. Louis Lincoln, and then the Rams of Peoria Manual. And the East Aurora Tomcats will come on 28-1 against 27-4. From the Assembly Hall, for my colleagues, Jim Albrecht and Coach Bill Geist, this is Frank Fasoni wishing you all a very pleasant good afternoon, where Rock Island has advanced to the semifinals over Bloom Trail. We'll see you tonight at 7. So long, everybody.
This telecast was presented by the American Dairy Association of Illinois, your local dairy farmer, delivering to you their very best every day. The Illinois Beef Council, beef, real food for real people. John Deere and your local John Deere dealer. The country companies and their more than 900 agents throughout Illinois. You've got the country behind you. And the Illinois Pork Producers Association. The 10,000 pork producers in Illinois encourage you to try the new, lean, nutritious pork, the other white meat.